start.
She can disappear like she's oh, just like poop. Okay. Hi guys, and welcome back to another video. It's your girl Debbie, and today is a different kind of video. So we're going to do like a makeup tutorial chit chat kind of
Yeah.
situation, and of course I have my love here, Chidinma. Mwah. She has literally been my makeup artist since uni days. Like I
Yeah.
saw her in her days of little beginning.
She did.
And I said, this girl, she has there's something about her, and ever since then she has been.
I'm going to cry.
I'll be like,
yeah, what it's really emotional.
yeah. So since then, when I
Yeah.
heard when she said, oh, she was moving to Lagos, I was so happy, and I'm currently preparing to go for this YouTube Made for You graduation program, and the vibe is casual vibe, and yeah, she'll be taking us on the tutorial small,
Yeah.
you know, as we go, so that you learn how to do makeup. Me too, I'm learning to small, right? And we'll be just chatting as well, and trust me, it's going to be interesting, so you definitely want to watch till the end. Okay, so let's get right into video.
So first off, I'll be carving her brows. So let me start from how I met Debbie. Yeah? So it was in 2019. I was staying in the same hostel with Debbie. Debbie was our hall governor then. Yeah, and like she was just a very nice person. Like she was super sweet. Like you know when you meet people and you're like, yeah, you know that these people have like these people are very like they're amazing. That's exactly what I saw when I saw Debbie. Like she was just an amazing person. She was so friendly, not minding that I was just a second year student and she was in final year. Like Debbie was so kind, so accommodating. Like I could literally I used to go to your room that time to ask for movies or something. I can't remember. But yeah, and Debbie was so accommodating. Like she was so nice. And then she also had roommates then, like two girls then, and they were all everybody was just so nice. So I'm somebody that gets attracted to nice people, good people. Like I'm a very friendly person. So when I see people that have like the same vibe as me, I tend to get attracted to them. So when I saw how Debbie and her friends were so nice, oh my god, like I felt welcome, if that makes sense. Pharmacy people are not so nice, I'm sorry, but they're not always so nice. I feel like most times they can be a bit standoffish, but that was not the same thing with Debbie. Debbie was so kind, and I remember times when Debbie literally like she said she was there when I started. I cannot say my story as a makeup, but there are some people I can never forget in my life for real. And Debbie's like top 5, and she's not number 5 or 4 or 3 or 2. She's number 1.
I'm blushing, no.
I remember that year she had like her final year dinner or something, and then I remember that time when she was booking me. I said, please, can you introduce your friends as well? How much did I charge for that makeup? 2,000 naira. 2,000, God! I remember I told her, please, can you bring your friends? And Debbie brought her friends. I made a lot. I think that night I went back with 10K. That means what? She brought 5 people for me. God, that touched me like sincerely. So yeah, Debbie is amazing. That's why you should just say, Stephanie, makeup. Whatever I'm doing, I will fly. I'll fly because she deserves it. Like,
thank you. I'm blushing. So in summary, be good, be nice.
Yeah,
basically. But I think from my own end, I would say I remember the first day I entered your room. I think I entered your room to ask for somebody, and then that's where I met you.
Yeah,
you were sitting down and all, and after a while I started frequenting that room, and to be honest, there was just something about your aura that was very good and inviting. You know, there are some people that their spirit, you'd be like, there's something weird about this person, I don't know, but you just had this welcoming spirit. You were always smiling. You know, I cannot remember any time that I would see you boning. Like it just feels like I've never seen you angry before.
Yeah.
Like she's always smiling and happy. And I'm like, how is this possible? And all that. And it really, really, will I say, got to me.
Yeah.
And that was why I was like, okay, you know what, this girl has to be my plug. And then the good thing is, the first time I now tried you, I think I came into the room randomly, and I don't know if you were packing makeup stuff or something. I just now found out that you do makeup, and you just registered in my head. So the first time when we were having like our photo shoot first before the dinner, you just came to mind, top of mind, and then I reached out to you. I was like, oh, okay, that I wanted to do my makeup and all, and she delivered. To be honest, at that point she was still learning, or we weren't so strong
Yeah.
compared to now, because if I look at the makeup then and now, there
There's
is a lot, yes, a huge difference. But at that time I was still looking peg, I was looking fine, like everybody was like, oh my god, you're looking so good, who did your makeup, you know, that kind of thing. So she did a good job. I mean, if you didn't do a good job, I don't think I'll refer you, because personally, I just feel like my name is very important to me. Having that good name and good reputation is very important. So I don't want a situation whereby I'll refer you to somebody and then the person will start having issues with you, even if you're my friend or anything. Like, I just try to make sure that you do good work before I refer you. Right. And of course she delivered that day. Like, I literally told everybody about her, and everybody needed her service, because I mean, it was dinner. Nobody had makeup plans, right? Yes. And then she was very affordable for us as students. So yeah, I think that's her. And ever since then we've kept in touch. And I think one thing that I want to say is my superpower, but it's something that I think I've learned, or a gift, because it comes natural to me. I know how to keep like relationships that are very, very valuable, like for a long time. Like, it's that serious that my primary school friend, I'm still in touch with her, like, till now. So it's just that thing, and we may not talk all the time, but we still have each other's contacts. We still check up on each other. If I want to do makeup in this Lagos, whatever, it's definitely Stephanie I will call. Like, even if my area there are many makeup artists, right? But I just feel so loyal. Like, I feel like if I go to another person, like I'm cheating. That kind of thing, right? That's how I feel. But like all my photo shoots, events, like, she's always one that I call. So yeah, I guess that's how we met.
So like your friendships with people, how have you been able to, like, because to be very honest, my biggest problem, like, I'm even very glad most times when I say like I've had like long-standing friendships. So how do you manage to, like, always, in fact, like, recently it has become so bad that it's very difficult for me to, like, reach out to my friends. My communication habit has, like, become very, very poor, and it was not really like that before. I knew, like, definitely. How do you manage to, like, keep everything? Do you understand what I'm saying? How do you manage to just make sure that, you know, you still have your friends, you still communicate with them, even when adulthood is really adulting? Like,
my dear, I won't even say that I'm the best at it, but I just try my possible best. So I would be very, very practical. Are you about to spread?
Yes. Everybody always runs away from this thing. I'm so sorry. Sorry.
So one thing I started doing was to be very intentional about my friends and their birthdays. If they hear it now, they'll start feeling themselves. But I put all my friends' birthdays in my calendar. Like, so I don't forget.
So I'm moisturizing her lips because I'm trying to avoid her having chapped lips. I just want her lips to be soft and hydrated before I apply the lipstick.
Okay, soft and hydrated. Okay. The other thing I try to do is to, respond to them, like, through their status. So let's say I see their status and WhatsApp status rather, and just respond, oh, how far, how you do, or just put an emoji or something, just to check up on them, and from there a conversation starts. Oh, how far, how are you, and all that. Thirdly, we used to schedule
video calls.
We used to schedule calls, right? Most times, just like, you guys, you've not talked in a while. Oh, what are you doing this weekend? Oh yeah, this weekend, Saturday, 5 p.m. Let's get on a call, stuff like that. We do that a lot. And then another thing we also do is schedule hangouts. Like, it's funny because at the recording of this video, we're currently in April, but like, I have my friends, we are planning a hangout in July.
Whoa.
we've started, like, we opened piggy vest to
To
save
save towards
towards
it, yeah.
it, and then everybody's like in the group and like accountable. Anyway, two of my friends, so we are three, we are going for the hangouts, right? So it's something like we have to plan ahead. So we already have it in mind. Okay, oh, July, we are hanging out. So do you get,
Yeah.
because adulting, like, people have different priorities and stuff. Life happens, but if you're intentional about like seeing each other,
Yeah.
you actually make it work. Like,
True.
you just need to be intentional. Be like, okay, when is everybody free? You plan ahead and stuff like that. And please don't be afraid, because you will lose friends in
Yeah.
adulting and you
True.
still make new ones. That is just how life is. You cannot, not everybody is meant to be in your life forever.
Yeah.
Like, there are people that are just there for a season and all that. And I think another thing is, I try personally to be kind to as many people as I meet, right? And just, give everybody a chance. You don't necessarily have to be like in my inner caucus. This thing. I mean, look at Jesus. Jesus had many followers. He
Exactly.
had disciples. He had 12 disciples. Even out of those 12, there was three that were his closest. Even in that three, there was one that said, I am Jesus best, like, I rested on his breast. I'm Jesus beloved. That's John,
Yeah.
that read the book of Revelations. And he was, I think he was the only person that was given that opportunity to see heaven and earth amongst the disciples, right? So it's not everybody that should be in your circle, but don't be afraid to go out, make friends. Another thing in terms of building community and friendships, finding new people, is to join communities. It's something I have learned a lot. Like, I'm trying to join groups, and even when I join the groups, I try to relate in those groups. I try to do things. So for instance, I knew that I wanted Christian friends, like more Christian female friends. And if you are praying to God that, oh, you want more Christian female friends, then you need to put in action. So what did I do? We had like camp meeting in my church. I could have well decided to go to a hotel and just stay only me.
Yeah.
But then I was in the single sisters group, and then they were doing accommodation. Like, all of us will get a, what they call, shortlet, and stay together. I went for that option because I wanted to meet people. I wanted to build, friendship, even if it's just few days. But that's this thing. Now, when we see each other in church, we're not looking like strangers compared to like when it was just WhatsApp group, nobody is seeing anybody and all that. So just being very intentional with that. I love my personal space. But I just had to go out of my way to actually do that. So these are ways that you can make friends as an adult. I'm still learning it, to be honest. Do I feel like, oh, some days I don't just want to? Yeah, I feel like that. Even though I'm extrovert, though, like now this event I'm praying to go for, I plan on meeting people because I'm going to meet creators like me myself. So I need to engage and find them. So you missed a part. You didn't say what you put before.
Oh yeah, I put that stuff I was using the brush to apply was a sweat block. She kind of gets hot sometimes, so in order to make the makeup last longer, I put the sweat block on her face so it would help with perspiration. So now I want to put her foundation, and I like to just shade match and see. I've mixed this shade for her. Does that mean you became darker? Because I don't know why this is looking way too light now.
Are you sure it's not the light?
No. So let me just do a little. Yeah, okay. It's your perfect shade. Because I say, did she become did she become darker? Because normally I would mix this shade and it's her shade.
So I want to know, how did you start like makeup, basically? Like, because when I speak, in fact, people were speaking this afternoon and you told me your big vision. I'm like, this girl love beauty. Like, it's a love. Like, it is not even something that you just do because like you really love it and you're passionate about it. So how did you start?
Okay, I think ever since I was a young girl, I've always had this like love for looking good and all. I remember one particular occasion when my mom was getting ready to go out, and then I knew she used to use a red lip liner on her lips, and then she would just put lipstick on top of it and she's good to go. So that day I was like, don't do red lip liner, why don't you try black? Try black. And then she put the black and she liked it. So I think the things that relate to beauty and looking good have always fascinated me. I've always loved it. So when I got to my secondary school, I remember then when I was in SS3, from SS2 safe, my teachers would just come and they'll be having conversations with us like, okay, when you're done with jam, don't sit down at home, don't like make sure you go and learn a skill and stuff like that. So I didn't know what I wanted to learn. Then I said, okay, maybe I'll just go and learn fashion designing or tailoring or something like that. So I was done with second. Okay, I started watching YouTube then when I was in SS3. I would use my mom's phone and go on YouTube and I'll be watching tutorials from people that were, because I noticed that there was like this new thing. It was no longer the regular carry items and just draw one
Draw
line.
line.
Yeah, it was not
Then.
different. I was not seeing people were using concealer and I never knew what that was. So I would just go online and just go and watch tutorials from people on how they were doing their makeup and seeing how they were using the concealers, and all those things were just fascinating me. So I think the more I watched it, the more engrossed I became, and then I just wanted to know more about it. So I was just doing it. Actually, I started doing it for fun. I was just doing it and practicing and learning, and I'll tell my mom then to just sit down and then I'll just draw rubbish on her face and she'll like it. So when I got to university, I then for my matric, the person that did my makeup charged me 1.5 for my makeup, and then the makeup was not, it felt painful on my face. And then I saw how people were queuing.
Makeup
I'm not
feels
joking.
painful.
The makeup felt
Wow.
painful. Like my brows were paining me seriously. I think probably from the carving or something.
Wow.
My face was feeling so hot. Like she was good. She actually learned from a very good like makeup school. So, but the thing is, I don't know why that makeup felt very painful on my face. So I like to get my details when I'm applying foundation. So I just want everything to be in. That's why it looks like I'm taking a lot of time for the foundation. So I was watching, like I noticed that a lot of people were coming to this girl to do their makeup. I was like, I'm an Anambra girl normally. So the business side of me, the business side of me had already opened. Like, Jesus Christ, it's not this thing that I'm watching. I can actually do this thing. It's not these things I've been watching and trying to practice since. I can actually do it. And people are literally like paying her to just rub this thing on their face. The thing made me like, I became even more gingered to learn and properly perfect it. So I started practicing. I remember then I have a friend, Agnita. I love you so much. I may not say this every time, but Agnita, Zara, you guys are like the real G's. You guys are gonna watch this video, okay? So I remember then Agnita would come to my room. We were like, she was my classmate, so she would come to my room and then she would watch and see how I was like, she would sit down, she would not tell me to just make her up. Then I'll make her up. Then she will go home. She'll take pictures and post it on Facebook. That's what she was doing then. I was not even pushing it online the way she would always come, and then I'll tell, okay, there are times when she would come and I'll be like, okay, let me also tie your gilly as well. So those were, because then the beauty industry it was not just makeup. When you're doing makeup and gilly together. It's not now that they've separated the two of them. So a makeup artist might not necessarily be the one to do your gilly. Yeah. So I was learning everything because I felt like I liked this thing and people are making money from it. So me, I cannot dull because I saw an opportunity and I knew that I had the skill set to go for it. So I just started practicing and wanting to do good for it with it. So before you know what, I got somebody that said, is there a makeup artist in this room? I saw, like, in my first year, her room was just like at the other side. So she said, is there a makeup artist in this place that she wants to do her makeup, but like, how much am I going to charge? I remember I told her 500 naira. Guys.
500 naira?
Yeah, like little beginnings. But now if I think about it, I just laugh. But I actually told her 500 naira. Crazy. And then she was like, no, I think I told her 1K. And then she was like, no, that her roommates would even do it for her for free. And then I was just excited that, somebody actually wanted to do their makeup. So it was like, oh yeah, how much do you want? She said it's 500. I said, no problem. The crazy thing is, it didn't work. She didn't come again.
Hey,
so, but the
that thing they say about charging, all those people that charge less.
At the end of the day, they are not your customers, to be honest. I stand, like, right now, I stand on that. Those people are not your customers. So I remember that time when she said, that is 500 naira. I was just the excitement alone that, somebody actually sees this thing that you're doing and they're willing to pay for it. It made me feel like I had arrived. Do you get? Yeah, because like before, who was looking at my side? But then this is somebody that wants to actually pay for it.
Yeah.
I felt good. It felt good for me. So that was how it started. And then I was always very keen on, if someone comes to my room, I would just try to make the person up And then I didn't have Instagram that time, and I didn't even have a business name. All I just had was dreams, right? And my
Mm.
love for makeup. That was it. So yeah, and I'm also somebody that, like, I have this I always like to think long term, yeah. So whenever I'm doing something, I always like to think, okay, in 5 years from now, what is it going to be like? How do
Yeah.
I grow it so that in 5 years I don't remain in the same place? So basically, I was always looking for how to grow, and that was what even birthed my big dream of, I think, in 2020, sometime in 2020, lockdown and everything.
Yeah.
God, I was trying to do online classes, but it was not working because I don't even know, like, all my efforts and everything, nothing was just working. I felt so down. And I think that was the point where I was able to birth the idea that I told you about. Yeah,
Oh.
it came from a point of, I won't say scarcity, but there was scarcity at the time, but then I also realized that there was a problem, because
Mm.
from my trying to do like the online class and everything, I noticed that the problem was not just people not knowing how to do their makeup, it was also people trying to get the right resources as well. Yeah. And then they didn't know how to go about it. And I'm like, many of them just go ahead and just get, this one is good, they just get it. They
Getting.
didn't have like the knowledge to know what these things are. And then sometimes they're also very expensive. Do you get? And they are good brands. Like, when you go online those times, what people were influencing the most was mostly foreign brands. They were
Yeah.
not really talking about Nigerian brands
Nigerian
like
brand.
that,
You know, it's actually last year I actually realized that there are Nigerian
that are
brands
good.
that are good in makeup. Like the ones I knew are the Marks, those
Yes.
brands that are not Nigerian made.
Yeah.
It was last year I found out, oh, Zaron is a Nigerian brand. Which other one? I think this V Beauty
Yeah.
as well is a Nigerian brand. Avor
Yeah.
is a Nigerian brand. Then there's this other lady I started following recently.
Beauty by AD.
Yes, as well.
And they are doing amazing, but most people do not even know. Do you get? And even till now, we still have makeup artists that use like foreign brands because they feel like they have better quality. Do you get? There are
Yeah.
some Nigerian brands that they just bring out and they tell you, oh, these ones are a dupe for this. For example, they can tell you, okay, Huda Beauty, this is a dupe for Huda Beauty. And if you use it, you'll find out that these products are really nice. Do you get? So yeah.
Yeah, like I love what you just said, honestly, because I just remember then when I had no idea of anything makeup.
Yeah.
When I used to go and buy stuff for school, then that would
Mm-hmm.
go to this Sele under bridge that
Yeah.
I used to buy sell things like
Yeah.
they are cheap price. You will
Mm-hmm.
see makeup things there too.
Yes.
People will buy me. I didn't know my shade. I didn't know anything. I
Mm-hmm.
just shall know that I see my other ones use brown powder. I'll
Yeah.
buy brown powder, buy lipstick,
Mm-hmm.
and God, I was a mess actually. But but yeah,
Mm.
actually. So we are looking forward to seeing you do big things
Amen.
actually.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Do you know the funny thing is, the first set of products I bought, they were foreign. In my mind, they were foreign brands. And then I would use them and this thing would not be working. And I did not even know that this thing was pure China. Because how am I buying Huda Beauty eyeshadow for 1.5? How?
Yeah,
Like,
like all those prizes.
I
And me, I
didn't
was
know.
thinking, wow, okay, so these are the prizes that
Yeah.
all these big people will be buying and they'll be making us look like, oh, you cannot afford this.
Exactly. I remember one time I was trying to replicate the look someone did, and the person used the Huda Beauty eyeshadow palette then. So I had that same eyeshadow palette, or I thought I had the same thing, and then I replicated it, and it was an absolute disaster. The eyeshadow was not pigmented at all.
At all.
Nothing was coming out. I was like, how did this person not did their own? They said, oh, they used what's it called? Eyeshadow primer. I have eyeshadow primer. I used an eyeshadow primer. So why is it not coming out the same way? I had no knowledge of these things. I just felt makeup is just makeup. I didn't know that they were fakes. I didn't know that they were counterfeit products. I just bought them. And of course, it was just a random Hausa Malam that sold it to me. So I
Yes,
didn't know. I didn't
exactly.
know the difference. It was just buy and use then. But now I'm wiser, right? So I've
Exactly.
grown. I know what I cannot expect when I'm trying to buy products.
So for someone now, right, that wants to start makeup, because I mean,
Mhm.
we said this was going to be a tutorial
Yeah.
sort of thing, and now you've already put things you've not explained.
Oh, I'm sorry. I did the foundation and I'm doing the highlighting. So sometimes I like a bright under eye. Some other times I'm like, I just want it to just be just a little, just so you can notice that there's a highlighter there, but not too much. So today is one of those days when I don't want too much. I just want you to notice that okay, there's a highlighter there, but not a lot. So yeah, because it's a casual event, so I don't want her to look too made up.
Yeah. Okay. So for someone that wants to start like
Yeah.
makeup by themselves, because I remember that you were the first person I reached out to that. Oh, I want to start makeup. I want to put what products do I get? And then
Yeah.
you gave me this list in
Yeah.
doc. She went to prepare document and wrote the list of things that I needed to like start makeup and stuff. But what is the most important first thing that someone should know if they want to learn makeup themselves? And then from a makeup artist point of view, right? Because we know that once people start learning how to do makeup, they're not going to patronize. Would you
Yeah.
recommend that? Oh, most women, most girls, in your 20s, I mean, you should learn how to do your own makeup at least. And then what's like the barest minimum that you should know or start with?
The first thing I would advise if you want to start like doing your makeup, yeah, you should know your skin type and you should get a foundation that is your perfect shade. And I would explain. Sometimes, yeah, you just go to the market and just buy a particular foundation, and that foundation does not work for your skin type. Everybody just has a new product line and they just slap matte on it. So you just buy and think, oh yes, this is matte. But even you that owns the product, you know that this product is not matte. People don't do business with fear of God anymore. So yeah, the first thing I would advise is that you get a product that is your shade and that caters for your skin type. Because when you do that, you notice that your skin work is much more flawless. You'd also notice that you are getting your makeup right. Do you get? Then another thing again that I would say is yes, of course, I would always be pro know how to do your own makeup yourself, because and I know that as I'm saying this is like it's a bit spoil business, but I'll be honest, yeah, it's an essential for everybody. Every woman, you have to know how to make yourself look good. Because what if in a case where there is no makeup artist? What are you going to do? At least you should know the basics, draw your brows, apply your foundation. Then when you have like big events, I even feel like it's even much more cost effective. You can book me for one-on-one session.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's not going to spoil my market if I'm the one teaching you. So yeah. So I feel like it's an essential for everybody. Just know how to do your own, even if it is to carve your brows, draw your brows, and do your foundation, just your normal base makeup to go out. Yeah, it's good to always look good, always, always, always. So yeah.
Yeah, it's good to look good. So, but like, if you want to start, the basics you need are foundation, brush,
Your primer.
primer.
Yeah, you need a primer. You need a moisturizer because your skin has to be hydrated. Your skin
Okay.
has to be moisturized at all times. So you need a moisturizer, you need a primer, you need your sprays, please, so that your makeup can sit inside your skin. Basically, what else again? You need your powder, of course. Yeah, even if you don't get setting powder because you don't have time or you're not that professional to know how to set and bake, then just at least get your skin prep products, your powder, your foundation, your lipsticks. Very important. Then your brow product and your blushes. Super important.
So in terms of business, right?
Yeah.
Let's talk business because you guys. Anyway, I think when I'm ready to talk about it, I would actually talk about it. But I'm still testing the market. I started a business recently, and I'm just really testing it. I will just give you a hint. It's in the hair care space because, like, I love hair care. If you're an OG on this channel, you know I started with hair stuff, and it's something I really love, like hair. So I decided to explore like something very, very small and just to test the market and see okay what is it like. And I'm actually learning the intricacies of business, selling a product. Is there ever a time or a business idea that you feel like people cannot want this? Because initially when I wanted to start, that was my thought. Right, that it's not like what I'm telling is not a need. Is a want. It's something you can do without. Right. However, it was someone else that made me think about it. I was like, just look at your braid. Your
Mm-hmm.
braid is already rough, right? And you're not ready to lose it because attachment is expensive.
Exactly.
So how do you solve that problem? So it's a problem
Yeah.
for someone. So I started seeing it like a problem,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I know you've said how you started your business, but how did you now realize that okay, this is something, this is like business? Like I don't even know what I'm asking, but it's more like how do you know this is a need
Yeah.
per se, and how did you know you were going to go into it like very raw? You're going to go all in,
Yeah.
basically.
At that point, yeah, to be very honest, the reason, like me looking at people that were looking for makeup artists for matric and convocation, and I knew that I had the skill. That was enough wake up call for me. I knew there's money here. Oh, open your eyes. I knew there was money. Okay, so guys, I'm using my setting powder. I'm so sorry, I've been so inconsistent with trying to tell you the products that I applied. But she's kind of creasing under her eyes. So I'm going to set with my setting powder. I'll still go over it later and take away the crease. So yeah, at that point I just knew that okay, looking at people and seeing how they were looking for makeup artists, like I just knew that this was it for me. I knew that I enjoyed doing this thing, and people, there was an audience that was waiting. But I've also done something, because like makeup at some point, see, one thing again that I've learned, I'm sorry I might have to digress a little so I can answer your question. One thing I've learned is that no matter how passionate you are about something, yeah, there's going to be a time when you get tired of it. I have,
I
yeah.
agree. I so hey,
Do you
I
know? I
agree.
can't count how many times I have thought of quitting being a makeup artist. Like right now, I've just told myself, look, the only thing now is you can only wish to quit in your mind, but don't ever let that become a reality. The only way from here now is up, right? So I can't just, if I quit, what am I falling back to? That's just what I remind myself. I know that truly a 9 to 5 is not my thing. Like I have tried working corporate, and I know that as much as it is good, because you know that at the end of the month,
Steady
money
income.
must come, right? But then again, I always have this fulfillment when I see like I grew this business. I know that I did this thing. Like there's this fulfillment that I get from it. So yeah. When I want to start a business, because I did a couple of other businesses, I've styled people like, okay, you have an event, let me style you. I will just get your measurements, then I'll take you to my tailor. I will not want you to know my tailor shop so that you will not go there by yourself. Yeah. And then I remember when I started doing that in uni, I felt like the people come. But of course, I just put it out there, right? What's the worst that can happen? You fail, right? But if you fail, you would learn lessons from there. The only problem now is if you fail and choose to not learn anything from that. You can just ask yourself, okay, why did this happen? Why did this fail? Do you get? So I don't even want to even think, is there a market for this? I feel like this, and that's something that I keep reminding myself every time. It can be difficult to keep telling myself that, but I just remind myself that I am in my foundational age, if that makes sense. So basically I'm building the foundation for my life now, right? There is nothing like just do it. Do you get? And something else I've seen is when you start, the customers will definitely come. That
Let's
one.
let's even like
Once you
and
start,
yes,
the
they will
customers will
come
come.
because to be honest, I was so scared. Like, you
Yeah.
know, my plan was, oh, if I buy this product, because
Yeah.
I'd not even said, you know, some people will want to do pre-orders or something.
Yes.
I didn't do that because
Yeah.
I told myself that if I start asking people, oh, will you want this? Will you
Yeah.
want that?
Yeah.
I might not end up doing it. So
True.
I just said, okay, this thing is affordable. I can buy it. And then I bought 1 dozen of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then after I bought 1 dozen of it, my plan was if it did not sell, I would dash it
Mm-hmm.
to people. Like I would sow it into their life,
Yeah.
right? And there's nothing there because I mean it's giving.
Yeah.
So I just did it. And then I started thinking of inspiration on how to sell the product. Like, what do I do? I'm a content creator. I love video. I love camera.
Yeah.
And I just took the initiative and just created content with the video. When I did it, my hairstylist saw it and she was like, oh my god, this is so nice. I was like, please go tell your people I'm now selling. She posted it. This lady got me customers. Like, I kid you not. And then by the time I now posted it, like everybody started asking me, oh, how much is it? What would it cost? You guys, I sold out. Like I saw that I had to get another set again. Like I sold out 2 sets. And I'm like, okay, I'm just starting. This business is not It's 2 weeks or
Yeah.
so. It's not even up to 1 month. It's
Yeah.
not even up to anything. But I just took that step and I was just like, because me, I had my fears, I'll not lie. That, hey,
True.
anybody wants it? Like, I mean, but
Okay.
now I realize that.
So when I was in my third year, 2020, I started like my own brand of lashes. I don't know if, did you see? Did you remember seeing it on my status one time?
Yes, I think I
StephMabelle
did.
lashes. I did.
Yes.
So like when I started, I don't even know. I think I just zeroed my mind like I want to have my own line, yeah. And then I just went. I got a supplier in Abuja. Actually, it's not like I was even importing. And then she sold them to me, and then I was selling them 1,000 at the time. She sold them at a pro because it was a discount. So I just immediately applied, got, and then I started selling. And then I was selling it at a discount of 1,000. Like I was selling it at 1,000 at the time. These were good human hair lashes, but it's not like they were mink. Mink lashes at the time were very expensive. So me selling that human hair lashes at that price, when I first started, I was very scared. Like, are people actually going to buy this thing? But I didn't care. And many times when I want to do like a business, yeah, as a small business owner, I like to think like a child. You know, children, they are so innocent, like they don't know what is going on.
Yeah.
And so they just do these things without overthinking. But we are adults. We like to overthink risk and stuff like that. But if you just think like a child and you know the funny thing, children always do these things and they get away with it. So now you that is an adult that is not trying to calculate risk, you will still not do it. It will still not work out for you. So why are you now stressing? Just do it like a child and forget it. I tell you, I sold out everything.
Wow.
I sold out all the lashes. The only one I didn't sell was a length that was ridiculously long. And that one was just a bonus that the lady just added for me. Do you get? But I sold out everything. The reason I did not continue was because I wanted to work on my branding. I felt like my branding was too poor. Some people were telling me actually that we need to work on the branding, but the money I got from there was not enough to like rebrand to my taste.
Yeah.
So I just put it on hold. I'm like, don't worry, in the future, people think I stop. I'm not stop. Just wait for me. So yeah, I just feel like many times we just overthink things, and if you just take your mind away from it and just do your thing, you realize that these things are not even as huge as we make them look. I don't with eyebrow. I went to do the brows off camera because it's going to be uncomfortable when she's talking and I'm doing the brows. So I'll be putting eyeshadow primer. Look down. Eyeshadow primer on her lid. This one would help the eyeshadow to pop very well. Okay, you're not open your eyes at this point though. Okay, so I'm going to make sure her eyes are closed all through. Look down, please. She's not going to open her eyes all through this process now.
Wow. So. Okay, so we're going to be in the spirit.
Yeah, basically. Do you know the funny thing is whenever I put eyeshadow primer for somebody, the person starts sleeping. So please.
So let's talk relationships, right? Because I know that's one conversation that people like.
Yeah.
When you bring love inside the whole thing, everybody wants to. Yeah. So what do you think about this whole getting to 30 kind of thing? The whole marriage scare. So I'm going to give an instance. So I turned 26 this year.
Yeah.
And do you know the thing that's ringing in my head? Oh, I have 4 more years. And I'm like, I had to catch myself one time when I was having that thought, and I was like, why am I thinking that 30 is like expiry date for like when you get married or relationships? I mean, marrying early is great, it's fine. In my list, in my list of things, I thought, oh, I was going to get married at least 23, 24.
Yeah.
That was like what I had in my plan. I think 23, 24, or even I think I later shifted it to 25 max, right? But then I'm here. Marriage is not my ring, my hands is still very empty, and I just think about like the whole 4 years gap. Like I feel like minus just marriage, but I also think like I have to get my sense of purpose immediately once I'm 30. Before I go to 30, I have to figure out what I'm doing in my life if I get to 30. That whole 30s vibe. And I used to see on Quora, because I like use Quora a lot, people asking questions. There was somebody that said, oh, I'm 23 and I feel like my life is not, I don't know, have purpose, I don't have...
Mm.
The person that responded was a 70-year-old man.
Mm-hmm.
And he said that he went back to school when he was 40.
Hmm.
Literally. And when I read those kind of questions, I'm just like, this whole age thing, especially when it comes to marriage, and then we are women, people start saying, oh, when you're 30, you're expired, it will be harder to find a man in
Yeah.
30. Like, please, honestly.
First of all, yeah, I don't agree to that. The whole I feel like there should be no timeline for stuff like this. Marriage is a very sensitive thing, to be honest. And I feel like as much as it's nice if someone should get married on time, it's also good if you go in with a clear head so that you don't end up making a mistake. There are so many people. We're just talking about a particular very popular person that was with the person she finally got married to for years.
Yes.
Almost a decade of being together. And then next thing they are married, and before you say what, the both of them are separated. Like it's very scary. Do you understand? So many times, like for someone to get married, yeah, it's good if you get married on time, but it's also very important that you get into marriage with a clear head and with the direction of God, to be honest. Because the people that are roaming on the streets now are not human beings, please. So it's just better that whatever you're doing, you are conscious, if that makes sense. Whatever decision you choose to make, it's coming from a place of consciousness and not just because the crowd is doing it or because that is a particular timeline. There should even be no timeline, because nobody says you should be dead at 70 or 80 or 90. Nobody says it. So why are you putting a timeline to when you will get married? That's bullshit, man.
This thing you just said about death just reminded me of like people that have died in their 20s.
Exactly.
So does it mean their future partner is not going to find them,
Exactly.
or it's like, does it mean that they did not have plans to marry to, or maybe like, what if they were not even supposed to marry in the grand scheme of things, like in the whole thing? Because I feel like we've placed marriage is a good thing. Like, oh my god, I love love. Anybody that knows me knows that romance is my journey. Like when movies, anything, like it's like what I love. However, with all the whole thing happening, you definitely don't want to make that mistake. Like, I think I read it somewhere that marriage is like the second biggest decision you make in your life. Like, and it's very, very important, because who you marry will make or mar you.
True.
Like, and it's so scary. But I feel like people don't understand that, and they feel like, if you enter, if you not work, you can come out. Like, do you know the baggage, the trauma that you carry and come out? True. Like, I think that it's important that we use our 20s well to actually like find yourself. Like, literally, when you find yourself, do you know, it's even recent I started discovering things about myself that I'm like, okay,
you didn't know these things before.
I didn't know these things, because I didn't know how much I loved to travel and explore places until I started doing it as a single person. Right? I realized, oh my god, I love this. So in my head, I'm like, me and my partner we are going to tour the world, because I found out, oh, this is thing. I began to realize the things that ick me. Like, I'm like, nah, I can't take this. Do you get? And then I began to also realize things that I don't like, things that I like. And I feel like it's a continuous journey. And let's even talk about the childhood trauma that you start discovering in your adulting age. Some of these things that we do is a response to trauma that we've had from childhood, and then you not carry that baggage, you not offload it in your single years, you not carry it inside marriage, like, and you now start having problems and issues. Is as a single person that I began to realize that, more their childhood traumas I need to deal with, generational causes I need to pray out.
True.
You know, those kind of things. And if you are just sitting down like in your single year just waiting for somebody to come and give you fulfillment or come and give you like a meaning to life,
it's never satisfactory, to be honest.
It's really, really, really never. So please, all this relationship podcast, this is me dragging you guys. Please, we've had enough.
Exactly.
Please, we've had enough. Give us more substance. So if we are not in a relation, what can we let the singles breathe?
Exactly.
Like, do you know this first quarter we could not breathe?
Everybody, like, and even till now, please, the pressure is still on.
I'm telling you, that's what they say. Class of 2024. Oh yeah, marry. If you don't marry, it's as if Jesus is coming next year.
Yes.
Because the way everybody is marking left, right. I will open Instagram.
Engagement.
engagement. Again, I'm like treasure Tiwa. At a point, I
Honestly,
had to leave Instagram, please,
yes.
for my sanity, because hey, I say wow. But then I'm still, there are days when I won't lie, as a single person, there are days where I want to share stuff with
With
someone.
someone, true, it happens.
Yeah, and you know that one person that you can always call and be like, oh my god, that oh this thing happened. You just
Yeah.
want to share that good news or even the bad news when you want to cry.
But you know, then when we were in school and all, like talking for myself, I used to have a friend then that would that met me sometime. I'm not looking at secret though. It's not even a secret, but I remember times when she would say, oh, that she's looking at other people getting married, and she too she would also like she thinks about it sometimes, and she too she wants to get married. I'm like, my dear, that doesn't mean. And from everything she was saying here, there were a couple of frogs that she had kissed actually. So I'm like, you don't have to, because you see things like this happening around you, you are now suddenly thinking of you too. You also want to get married. I'm like, calm down and love yourself. And I'm very, very sure that the right person will come. Right? Because if you don't love yourself enough, you would accept anything and everything. No matter how bad it is for you, no matter how terrible it is for you, you would accept it because you just want to get married. And to be honest, the goal should not just be to answer Mrs. The goal should not just be that.
Like there's a purpose for marriage that God created initially, and then you guys, maybe they say two shall become one, and
exactly.
one shall chase 1,000, two shall chase 10,000. So because you have a partner, it now means that that purpose that God has created for you guys, you now pursue very well.
Exactly.
You know, because you have a partner, you have a support system. I also think it's important to heal from hurt from men, because some people have this mindset that men are scum. And then because of that, they just treat men anyhow, or they never even think that they will ever get a good man. The thing that pains me past is this whole cheating narrative. Let's not even go there, because I'm like, do you know that there are actually still good men that don't cheat? But men are polygamous in nature.
Please, I don't like hearing that.
I hate it so
because
much.
that is a lie.
It's a lie.
That's
it's just
very dirty lie.
you're hiding under the shadow of your lack of self-control.
And like that is just an anthem for undisciplined people.
Yes.
People who do not have self-control.
Exactly.
Because you cannot tell me men are polygamous. That's rubbish. That's absolute rubbish. I don't succumb to. I don't even like to this. Once someone says that, I just know that this person is an unserious person, and I end the conversation.
Exactly. Like you cannot be doing that.
Don't.
But then if it's a woman that does it, it's an pain.
Yes, like
can you just make it make sense?
Exactly. It's like you are not practicing. If men are polygamous in nature, why can't women be too?
Tell me,
because you want to bring in your ideology on stuff, and it's not me trying to make men and women equal in this sense.
Exactly.
It's like if you're trying to say men are polygamous in nature, then why would you feel bad when a woman does the same thing? Do you get? Whatever you can't dish out, you shouldn't accept it.
Exactly.
Do you understand? Whatever you cannot accept, you shouldn't dish out, if that makes sense.
Very well though. And then they'll now be using the whole Solomon in the Bible, he married 300 wives, had how many concubines, and all that, and still he was the richest and wisest. They'll use Abraham, use all of them, like in those days. That I'm like, that is them.
Exactly.
This is you.
So I've smoked out her eyes. I smoked out this one, so I want to like clear out the excess that was here and give the eyes a sharper look. So that's like something I have learned.
Okay.
I've learned recently, and that is to give the eyes like a sharper look. Open your eyes, and then I'll just smoke it out.
This is my small eyes. There's like hooded. Maybe they used to call my eyebrow hooded eyebrow.
Your brows, There's nothing hooded about your eyes, oh. Nothing hooded about your eyes. It's people like me that should be complaining. Hooded eyes are like those Asian people, Japanese. They are the ones that have hooded eyes. But there's nothing hooded about your eyes.
And it's funny how K-drama people, their eyeshadow used to show.
There's a way they do it, So there's a tutorial for people that have hooded lids. Yeah, she's admiring herself.
Yeah, I like the way I'm looking.
Thank you.
It's giving everything it should give.
I was telling Debbie that she's a Gen, like she doesn't act like a Gen Z. If not Debbie in reality, there's nothing Gen Z about Debbie.
Please, you guys should tell me in the comment section. Am I not a Gen Z? Like, am I not giving Gen Z vibes?
No, nothing. Because okay, for me that knows her personally, I know that there's nothing Gen Z about her. Like she acts and thinks and behaves like a very, I'm sorry, this is not to say Gen Z people are not mature though, but but she acts like very matured. So you know that this person doesn't reason like a
Okay.
Gen Z. Yeah.
I think it's because I have elder ones now.
Okay.
I think he added to it,
So yeah.
honestly.
What do you think about social media as a whole? What do you think?
As a whole.
Yes.
Oh.
As much as it is good and all, we know that they are cons. So like, what's that point? And she's a digital person,
Yes,
yeah.
that's what I was going to say. That you're asking the digital
Yeah.
girl.
So I want to hear from her, the digital lover herself. Like, what do you think about like social media? When do you feel like, as much as I love this thing, there's a need to draw a line here?
In summary, social media is a distraction.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not even going to say come and start giving you that, oh, it's good, it's this. We all know that is good, right? But it's a very big distraction from yourself,
Yeah.
from God,
Mm-hmm.
and from your family and relationship,
True.
right?
Yeah.
It's actually a very big distraction. I'm going to say why. Social media has narratives, right? They call it narratives, like social media narratives, social media standards,
Look down.
and then you begin to realize that somehow you are conforming to those things that was not you. Like it's not your own way of thinking.
Yeah.
It's social media's way of thinking and the way in quotes they said it's supposed to be. Right. So it's a very big distraction to you finding yourself because you begin to compare yourself to other people and you begin to see success as defined by what other people
Are doing.
are
Yeah.
doing. But that's not how it's supposed to be. I'm actually even learning that success is what God calls success for me as an individual.
Yeah.
Right. If I don't fulfill my purpose on earth, I'm not successful.
Yeah.
Even if I have all the things
Money.
in the world.
Yeah.
As long as I don't fulfill God's giving purpose to me. God said, oh, you're supposed to be an evangelist. And then I don't do it. I go and start becoming an actress. I didn't fulfill what God wants me to do because there are destinies and lives that are supposed to be touched by what I do. And it's vice versa. Maybe God says, okay, you're supposed to be an actress, and then you don't do that, and you now go and do something else, become a business woman. In terms of your relationships, you find yourself that you're in a place, you're with your friends, instead of you to have conversations, you're pressing phone,
Yeah.
you're scrolling on social media, you are not present, right? And it's affecting your relationships and all that. And with God, obviously, you rather pick your phone. I don't know if you guys have watched Social Dilemma, but if you haven't, I'll recommend it. It's on Netflix. It's a documentary about like how from people that worked in like Facebook and the rest, all the social media, this thing, how they program people, their plan, right? It's not like it's bad. They actually do it to make money from their end, right? But then we are like the pawns that is being played with. And if you are not somebody that knows how to control your time, control yourself, be disciplined enough, you're going to fall for the distractions.
Yeah.
And you're going to fall for them. So I totally recommend it. The Social Dilemma. It's a very good documentary to watch to help you.
Another thing I wanted to ask you. So Debbie is somebody like I see how her relationship with God is, and God, I'm not even joking. I pray to have that kind of relationship.
Hey, pray for more. Like I feel like I've not even scratched surface. You're literally supposed to pray for more.
Yeah, okay, I'm praying for more. But I'll be honest, I was actually praying for that. Yeah. So there was a day Debbie and I were having a conversation, and then she said something like, oh, I have to ask God first. God, that thing registered in my mind. Like, what? Like, many times, like, I just make sporadic decisions.
Yeah.
Because I choose to not overthink things. Sometimes I feel like if I wait, if I say, okay, I want to ask God, the answers might come, but it might be delayed. And that is what I don't want. Because if I take my mind off it, I don't know how my dedication to want to do it will be again. So I'm rather just, okay, whatever comes out of it, I can be very indecisive. But at that point when I want to make a sporadic decision, I just make it. But Debbie does not do anything without the leading of the Holy Spirit. So please, how do you do your religious life? How do you handle it? Like, how do you
Oh,
handle being young, loving
and
God, handling business, life, everything that you do? How do you do that?
as cliche as it may sound, but the truth is that it's with the Holy Spirit. And I would say I'm still striving because I'm not even where I want to be,
Yeah.
but I know that I'm not where I used to be
Yeah.
before. Um, Growing up, I think when I finally gave my life to Christ, I loved God so much, or I love God so much. Let me not say love because it's still present.
Yeah.
And I was very, very, you can't tell me there is no God because I've experienced God.
True.
It will be a story for another day. The story I'm even planning to do with my mom because she was a huge part of that story of my miracle. And after experiencing God in that way, nothing anybody wants to tell me that there is no God, right? And because of that, I've tried my possible best to always try to hear God and know how He speaks to me. So I think one thing when it comes to decisions, there are some decisions that I don't have to ask God. To. Let me be very honest, right? Because He has already given me His word to
Yeah.
say in the Bible. So, for instance, you're supposed to forgive someone. You cannot come and be asking God, should
Should
I
I forgive?
forgive?
Yeah.
There are some things you don't have to ask God for. He has given us wisdom to make decisions as well. That wisdom is a gift from God, right?
Yeah.
So, for instance, I know that when I wake up, I'm supposed to make my bed, I'm supposed to have my bath, I'm supposed to brush my teeth. That's wisdom.
Yeah.
I'm not supposed to ask God that should
Should I
I
do this
bath,
thing?
should
Yeah.
I do get, but there are key important decisions that I actually have to ask God. So, for instance, should I move to a new city? Should I attend this church? Should I join this department in church? And it could even be as little as what should I wear? I
Yeah.
kid you not,
Yeah.
right? When I was growing up, I used to read all those heaven and hell book.
Very
At a
well.
point, my prayer point was like, Father, show me heaven and hell. I want to see vision. Maybe that's when I'll really, really
Yeah, be shaken by
be
them.
shaking and my faith will be strong.
Mm-hmm.
But he has not answered it, and to be honest, I don't even want to see it
Yeah.
because maybe my own will be I'll have to die.
God forbid.
But I'm not ready to. But yeah, so that is one thing that I know that really helped my faith. And I grew up like I attended Bible believing schools. Basically, my schools were Christian schools, except I think when I went to federal school, Queen's College, it was not. But then we had pretest. I was even the religious prefect at a point, basically. So one thing I would say is praying to God, getting knowledge like about God, listening to messages has really helped me. I love listening to messages. The kind of people you follow. I curate my social media feed.
Yeah.
If you come to my social media, like out of every three scrolls is message you probably be hearing or seeing Christian content creators
Yeah.
or stuff like that. And because I've done that, Instagram automatically recommends that to me as well. And then I try to make things as practical and simple for me as possible.
Yeah.
I don't like complicated things
Yeah.
because I think that's when I was practicing religion that I
Yeah.
needed to do things just so that God will love me. But then I realized that it's out of my love for God that I do this with Him. So I
Yeah.
fellowship with Him.
Yeah.
I sing worship songs. We have very nice worship songs now that I just play, and just be in God's presence. And then I read my Bible. I do Bible study with YouVersion. YouVersion is there that makes things easy.
Yeah.
And then I read books, right? Christian books. The first book that ever changed my life and my relationship with God is two books actually. Good Morning Holy Spirit by Kenneth Hagin and How to Know God Intimately by Joyce Meyer. Those two books may changed my life. Then one that gave me some sort of sense of direction and purpose is Purpose Driven Life.
Yes, that one. Highly recommended, please.
Like, that book changed my life.
Yeah.
Literally. So I just think that it's just taking a step at a time, one step at a time. And the Bible says that if you seek me,
Yeah.
you'll find me.
Yeah.
Like when you seek me with all your heart. So God sees your heart and knows, okay, you want a relationship with me. This God everybody's talking about. I want to know you, I want to experience you. You will find him.
Yeah.
Literally. I don't even know how else to tell you. But you will definitely find him.
Yay. Okay, so
These few points of mine, I've been able.
yeah, you have 100%. Okay, time for the lashes now. I will not be able to talk.
All right, guys. So here's the final look. What do you guys think? Personally, I love it. For me, it's 10/10 times 1 million. So let's know what you think in the comments. So rate it.
Yeah.
Okay, and yeah. So
Thank you very much. I had so much fun shooting this, to be honest, and I would really, 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 really love to do more things like this in the future. So please subscribe to Debbie's YouTube channel. She has like great stuff coming, and she has like good storylines and story writing. If that makes sense. I don't know how you guys call it, but yeah, storytelling. Jesus, sorry, but yeah, she does it so well. So please subscribe to her channel if you are a returning subscriber. Thank you, and if you're just coming to her channel for the first time, do subscribe. Okay, thank you.
thank you guys, and I'll see you in the next video.
Bye.
Bye.